Welcome back to AJ Stores Photography, and in this episode I'm going to show you how to add a little bit of light, a few light beams here and there, just coming in from the corner of a photo, a bit of mist, just to give something a little bit more to an image. Now all the images I'm going to do are black and white, and they're all night photos as well, so it's going to help a lot. But I'll show you how I go about it and how easy it is, or I find it how easy it is using Luminar 4.3 it is now. It's just been updated, so now we're on to 4.3. So we'll jump right in. I'll show you a couple of the 2 or 3 images, how I do it. I'll try and speed it up so it's not a lengthy process, but at least you'll get to know how to do it. The photos that I'm using are mine. The light beams and stuff like that, some of them you can download free. I'll try and put a link down below to some of the sites that you can get them from. But they're easy to come by. Plenty of sites out there do free downloads for bits like this. So we'll jump straight into it and get in. Hi guys, so this image was taken in York a couple of years ago. It's a long exposure, as you can see from the blurred out people, bit of ghosting as they've walked through the packs, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to change it from this and do this to it. So a bit of mist and adding these lines in here coming through the open window to give you this little bit. So I'll show you how I do that. First of all, we'll go into the first photo. So this is a background layer. So add a layer, add a new image layer, and I'll go into my photos, images, and basically I'm going to add the sunbeams or the light beams coming through. Now I'm sure, if I remember rightly, it doesn't matter which really, I think it was that one, so we'll open that. Yeah, it was that one. Right, so I'm going to turn the opacity down. So as I turn this down, as you can see basically through the image. Yeah. And we're going to go layer transform, and all we're going to do is I'm going to rotate it to about where I want it. Now don't worry about all this, we'll get, all this lot's going to come off. I'm just going to make it a bit bigger. Right, done. So as you can see, you've got the light beams. It's not going to be exactly the same as this one. I'm using a different light one, I know that. So as you can see, I need to be up a little bit. So layer transform again, and just move it up. And you could just do that. I mean, I'll probably tweak it a bit more anyway as we get through this. So it needs to move up a little bit more. Again, just moving it up and just twisting it a bit more. That's a bit better. We're starting to get there now. So all I'm going to do now is edit mask, choose brush. I like to do it erase. Opacity is how much it's going to erase, so it will leave some of it. I'm going to push that up all the way up to 100 because I want to take it out totally. Smoothness is basically how much of a feather it'd be. So as you can see there, it takes it out. And what we're trying to get is we're trying to get it so it just lights up this bit here. So we can do this. And it's obviously coming through there. Now if you're not sure, if you go up here to mask and hit that, it'll show you what you've hit and what you haven't, so you can just take out the bits around the outside. Now I have noticed that this is version 4.3. I have noticed basically that this is a lot quicker now than it used to be. It is a lot quicker. So you can see what I'm trying to do. I'll turn that back off. You hit layer transform, think that 2 seconds. I'm just going to put the opacity back up a little bit so I can see it a bit more. Right, what I'm going to do is layer transform, and I'm just going to move it down ever so slightly. Done. And it needs rotating a little bit, like that. And we're getting there. As you can see, right, I'll tell you why this isn't looking why it should be, because I haven't done this. And I should have done this prior to when I started. So if you do that, and then I can put the opacity up, and now you can see it a lot better. We live and learn. This is a new program to me as well. So as you can see, the rays are coming in quite nicely, but I still think it needs to point further down. So we'll go into layer transform again and just rotate it a little bit more and have a look at it now. A little bit more. That's more like it. Right, as you can see, it is starting to look like it's coming straight down now. So I'm just gonna go into edit mask, pick the brush up again, and I want to have a look, see where we are. And I'm just going to put paint this time. I'm just going to paint it in here. Right, turn them back off. Yeah, I like that. Right, I'm going to go back into arrays. I'm going to take the opacity all the way up, but I'm going to take the smoothness back down to probably about 5 to 10, and I'll show you why in this. We'll go to 5 and then we'll go from there. So I'll put the mask back on and I'm just going to zoom in. Once you've zoomed in, if you put your finger on space, you can move it around so you can see where you're going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sort this edge out. Now I'm doing this with a mouse. I do have a Wacom tablet, but I haven't put it on here yet. So this is all I'm doing. I'm just going down here. You don't want a crisp edge. I think, to be totally honest, you could probably do with being just a little bit softer. So all the way up to the top. And then come back out, turn the mask off, and there's the effect that I'm starting to get now, and I think that's quite nice. I think it still could do with rotating a little bit more, so I'm going to rotate it a little bit more. I am, just a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. Go back into mask, and we're just going to turn this back on. You see, the good thing about this is, I'm just going to paint this back in. Opacity 100. Come back out, and I'm just going to put the smoothness back up to about 60, or how much feather I have, and I'm just going to run down there. Again, if you want to move around, you can do, just using the space. I think that line's okay. I'll turn that off, come back out, click on land, and there you go. So before and after, That's before, that's the after, and I'm quite happy with that. Probably just do with a little bit more there, but for the purposes of this video I'm not going to do everything bang on, because otherwise we'll be here all day. So next one is basically just to add a little bit of something in here, not much, just so it's a little bit different. So new layer, new image layer, and we're just going to go into something a little bit, maybe that one. We'll open it. Yeah, I don't mind that. Right, layer transform, and we're just going to drop it down because we only want it around here a little bit. In fact, what I'm going to do is make it bigger, you know, ways. And I'm just going to do this a little bit. I'm just going to move it around. Just a little bit. Like I say, this isn't going to be the same as the other one because it's a different image. But you'll get the idea of what you can get. So it's about where I think it'll be alright. So if you go into the blend, if you just drop down it, it shows you what type of blend, what type of thing you're going to get. Light's not bad. I like that one. Overlay. I think screen will be best. So that's not too bad at all. I'm quite happy with that. So as you can see, from the start to finish, that's not bad at all. I quite like that. I mean, you could take the opacity down of that one, so it's just faint. Again, it's personal preference. I mean, you could have it so it's hardly seen. Well, I quite liked it where it was. I'm going to the second one. So this is the second image. It's taken in Durham on a night shoot again. I've got the, let's have a look at the info, 2 seconds. So f16, 30 seconds, 27mm, ISO 250, and that'll just bring out these. This is basically from camera, bit of editing turned into black and white in Lightroom, and that's about all I've done to it. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a light flare there and just a little bit of mist in the foreground. So add new image layer, that one, and I'm just going to turn the opacity down, and all I'm going to do is I just want to move it so it's more coming from over here this way. So layer transform, and we're just going to make it a little bit bigger, and then we're just going to rotate it. So as you've seen in the last one, if there's something like this bit up here I don't really like, I'll probably end up just taking that bit out. So you press done, go into screen. Yeah, I'll probably end up taking that bit out. Move the opacity up so you can see it a little bit better. And I think I'm going to make that even bigger. So layer transform again. I'm just going to pull that down. Pull that up. I'm just going to move it down so it's bigger in total. That's better. I'm just going to rotate a little bit more, so I've got a bit of a straight edge here on the side. That's better. A bit more. Yeah, quite like that. Let's move it back out. Just going to make it a little bit bigger. That's it. There you go. I quite like that. It just gives you the impression that there's another light here. You know what I mean? And takes the darkness off that building. so there's just a little bit more brightness there. But like I say, I'm just going to get rid of that one. So edit mask, brush, go over to erase. Opacity is 100%, so it'll take it out 100%. Smoothness, and we'll take smoothness down to about 10. Take it to 10 at least, then I know. And then we're just going to take that out straight across. Now, because nothing else is happening with the rest of it, I don't really need to do anything. But if you had to, or you wanted to, take your smoothness all the way up to 100. Put your mask on, and then just take the lot of it out. Put my smoothness to 100. I don't want it 100. I want it at 0 because I want a hard edge. See how it's a really hard edge now? I'm just going to take that off so I can see where I'm going here. Smoothness back up to 100. And opacity we'll take down to 50 just as we get close to the edge of what I want to keep. And I'll just brush it in. Right, so I'm happy with that. Press done. And start before and after. And as you can see, it doesn't make a lot of difference, but I think it just gives a little bit more to this. So, new image layer. I don't want a lot. We'll go for that one. Right. Layer transform. I'm just going to drop that down. I just want it. It's a good idea when you're doing this, just to make sure that the edges are over, if you understand what I'm saying. That way you basically, you don't get no bits that you've missed. So I want it just about there. I'll press done. And bring the opacity back up. And you can just see it coming back through now. I think that's alright. So before and after. And like I say, it's only subtle, only little changes. I mean, you don't have to put this bottom bit in, you don't have to put this in. You can just take the photo and say, I'm done. But when you take a photo, for me, if you can enhance it by a little bit like this, I can't see it being a problem. The photographers will say there is, but hey ho, let them get on with it. So anyway, so that's number 2. So this is image number 3. Taken on a walk around Newcastle the other night with one of the lads. All I'm going to do to this, I'm not even going to overlay any photos or anything like that. I'm just going to use 2 things. So I'm going to go into the creative, and I'm going to go into sun rays. Place sun ray. So I'm going to place the sun ray right in the middle of that light. And press done. Now the amount of sun ray, you can bring it right up. Your length of your sun rays you can bring right up. Penetration. Don't worry about what I'm doing at the moment. You'll see the end result. Number of sun rays. So you can just draw a bit down a tad. Let's have a look. About there. Excuse me. Sun radius, we can drop that down because I don't want the sun to be there. Sun glow, we can turn that down. Sun ray warmth, well it's in black and white, so I don't want any warmth in it at all. And that for me will be about that. So I'm going to edit mask, brush, erase, which I'm on. I'm going to take the opacity up to 100 for now, but leave it at a smoothness of 100, and I'm going to put the mask on. and all I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out where I don't want it. And before and after, as you can see, I'm going to take a little bit more out here. So we're going to go into edit mask brush. Size is 100. Sorry, opacity is now 50. We're going to leave that at 50, leave it at smoothness, and then we'll just do that. And just feather it out there. I'm going to feather it out along this edge as well. And press done. And that's before, that's the after. The only other thing I did to this, I put a vignette on it. So into vignette, the amount, so take that up, that takes it white. Yep. Or you can take it black, which I prefer. Size. Go into advanced settings, so you can sort your roundness out if you wanted to. And your feather. And as you can see, it's here that changes. So, and that's that one. And I think that's not bad at all. I quite like it. And it just gives you a bit of something else. So there you go, guys. Hope you like the 3 edits using Luminar 4.3. So there you go, guys. 3 ways you can use simple things just to highlight and make photos a little bit more advanced. I don't know how to put it really. You know what I mean? Just give them a bit more to what it was when you first started it. I don't know about you, but when I take a photo, I think to myself, wish there was a bit of mist around, or I wish, you know what I mean, there was some nice clouds in that corner, or you know what I mean, you just do as a photographer. But this is one way you can do it in Luminar. Quick tips. If you fancy using Luminar, there's a link below, an affiliate link. Click on that, 7-day free trial. Use the code, get $10 off. Take it down to UK about 46 quid-ish. Anyway, but it helps me out as well, guys. So give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a share, and if you want to, subscribe. See you on the next one. Bye now.